Hi, welcome back to Transitions. I have with me now Brenda Snyder. And Brenda, I was just speaking with Norma Kirkby of the Alzheimer's Society about older people and some of the cognitive changes and so on. But could you tell us a little bit about what is happening with the general population with respect to safety?
Sure. One of the most notable studies indicated that an average of 4 million Canadians sustain injuries in a typical year that result in disruption of their normal activity. So that's a lot of people, and it can be broken down into a few different groups. Seniors, for instance, with them, 65% of those injuries occurred as a result of a fall. Mm-hmm. Adolescents from 12 years old and older, it was about half of their injuries were sustained as a result of a fall. And for working age adults, that percentage was about 35. So when you do the math, that's a lot of people who are at risk of a major injury with it being directly related to a fall.
Well, that's interesting. So are there some tips maybe or some suggestions that you can make to people?
Sure, and I think we can all recognize that there are things that we do in our daily lives that place us at risk. We're all pretty good at identifying those risks, but we're not so good at taking action to reduce the consequences. So we do things like we climb up on a chair rather than getting a footstool. We stumble around in the dark instead of replacing the 40-watt bulb that is clearly inadequate for that situation. Wintertime, we take the recycling out, shuffling our feet in little slippers instead of taking the extra 30 seconds that it would take to put a pair of boots on and do that safely. So we take a lot of unnecessary risks, and then we're surprised, potentially, when an injury occurs and we think, how did I not see that coming? But in fact, we did see it coming. We just didn't do anything to respond to the concern to make things safer. And we need to be more preventative as a population. Mm-hmm. At any age, and think that way, so that, as the old saying goes, we lock the barn door before the horse gets stolen, instead of waiting for that inevitable injury and are faced with a consequence that could have been avoided.
So it looks like you brought some things in here with you today to show us some of the apparatus or equipment.
Sure.
Can you explain what you've brought in?
I can. As an occupational therapist with community therapy, we see people predominantly in their homes and in long-term care facilities. But when we go to attend a visit in a home, we encounter a wide variety of people. So they might have really relatively minor physical challenges and mental cognitive disabilities, but there is a range of presentation that we can often assist in fairly simple ways. So some of the things that I've brought, I'm sure many people have seen previously, but it's good to know what's out there and what's available. So we'll start with the bathroom, since it is probably the room in the home that places us most at risk. There's so many people that have a slip, a near miss, where they think, if I had crashed down to the floor of the tub and hit my head on the faucet, I could have seriously injured myself. So a bath seat might be a good alternative to increase safety. This, of course, is the ever popular raised toilet seat that gives us a little bit added height. For a lot of people with a disability, the risk is most notable when trying to get from a low seat height into a standing position. So if we can make those low seat heights a little bit higher, then the risk is reduced. This is a furniture raise, so you would buy these in sets of 4. They are adjustable in height by little blocks that go inside, so you can lift up a favorite couch or a favorite chair so that someone is not exerting themselves with every effort of trying to get up into a standing position. The grab bar, again, in the bathroom is probably a very common device that's placed strategically to meet the needs of that individual. So we often would place 2 in the shower stall, one to help step over the side of the tub, and then the second one to perhaps steady someone during a shower while they're washing their hair and they put their head down. or to get up from a bath seat if that's in use as well.
Now, I've seen quite a few of these in bathrooms where older people live, and I suppose if you have those in your home, even younger people might need them too from time to time.
Right.
So what else do you have?
I just wanted to follow up on one thing that you said too, is that I think we've all found ourselves in public washrooms that have grab bars that are poorly placed. And they are behind us, they're too high, they're too low, they're at the wrong angle. So the placement of the grab bar is really important. And it's one of the things that we do. We mark walls, we arrange joint visits with suppliers to install equipment so that things go in to be the optimum use for that client. This is a portion of a bed rail, so I didn't bring the whole thing, but suffice to say that it would go along the side. It has extra pieces here that go between the mattress and the box spring. So it's great for helping somebody who has a physical limitation roll over in bed, get into bed perhaps from a wheelchair, to assist themselves from sit to stand, and also to avoid actually sliding off the mattress when they're in a seated position. And then lastly, I brought this transport wheelchair. It is extremely lightweight, which you can see by how easily I'm moving it. It's a godsend for many clients and also their families because it is so easy to lift the wheelchair in and out of the car. A fully designed wheelchair with larger wheels on the back is a very heavy, awkward piece of equipment. And as someone has brought up, it's very important to take care of the caregivers as well. And it's really a positive step in helping make sure that someone transporting the wheelchair is not getting hurt lifting the item in and out of a car.
So can you give us just a quick synopsis of a major transition, like an individual who had either an injury or an illness and they had to make a big change in their home?
Sure.
Just a quick synopsis for us.
Sure. Sometimes the disability is not particularly severe, but as an OT we would come into the home and make suggestions. So a client that I can think of off the top of my head had early signs of dementia with worsening memory, but also had some complications with arthritis, joint pain, a little bit of unsteadiness, fell a couple of times going to the bathroom in the middle of the night. So strategies for her were to get an adjustable hospital bed, to have a commode at her bedside so she did not have to walk to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Her family purchased a bath seat, a raised toilet seat, got a nightlight in the hall to help with safety, and also was able to get some home care service in place to make sure that she was as safe as she could be and to remain in the community.
Well, I really appreciate that you came in today to share all this information with us, and I'd like to thank you and also thank Norma as well. And I'll invite all our viewers out there to please look at our website and visit the other websites that we've posted for your information.